I know of plenty of Marines that lost their lives from suicide bombings and or from, the other things that happened while we were there. I'm Danny Jones. I'm a United States Marine Corps war veteran and also a Chattanooga police officer. Sadia is was the name of the suicide bomber. She's wearing a hijab. She's wearing all of her, she's covered. She's completely covered. And she was always with this young boy. Sadia had been using the boy to kind of case the outside of the Iraqi police station. And this was like a couple, 3 or 4 or 5 days prior to her actually, blowing herself up. The big concrete barriers, very tall, that went around the whole compound. We had one major road that went right in front of us. Literally right across the street was their market. There was a traffic control point on the front of it, and that's where she imploded herself. There was 2 Iraqi police officers that were sitting just there. Both of them lost their lives. There was some other folks that got a little injured that was on the outside, but the kid was the biggest thing for us. The boy had different injuries, specifically with his eyes, some stuff going along with his chest. He lost one limb, I can't remember which. While we were overseas, we didn't lose a Marine. Since we've been back, I've had to bury 9 of my Marines. 1 from a homicide, 2 from drunk driving, and then I've had 6 that have either OD'd and or have actually committed suicide. That's the toughest part. We did some things prior to even being deployed that you're not really supposed to do, if you will. I got the unit together and read Psalms 91 over the top of them. So we're home, and it's probably 2 o'clock in the morning, and I get a phone call. Gunny, hey, what's up? And this is one of my lance corporals, so way down on the rank structure, if you will, and I'm a little bit higher. A lot higher, actually. Gunny, I need help. Okay, what's going on? He says, I'm in a real dark place. I'm wanting to hurt myself. Okay, where are you at? I'm at home. Okay, what are you doing right now? Thinking about hurting myself. Okay, and then through this whole process, he says, I just remember how much you cared. It's like, buddy, that's not that I care, it's that God cares. And walking him back through everything that we'd ever talked about, everything that we'd ever prayed about. And luckily, we were able to get him help. And he's still with us today. These young men need not just leadership, but spiritual leadership. It's the reason why my wife and I started an inner city ministry. I've got a kid that literally we've been mentoring for 6 years. I've got another kid that was up at the house 2 weekends ago. His mom was murdered. And as we rule out different people, the grandmother comes. We're just going to release the kids to you. I said, but before I release the kids to you, I want to pray for you. And I said, if that's okay. And she just tears in her eyes. And she said, yeah, I'd love for you to pray for me. I just remember saying, God, whoever did this to her daughter, I want them to come to justice. But I wanted them to come to justice in such a way that ultimately you're glorified. Something of that nature. 2 weeks later, we get a call of someone trying to commit suicide with a knife. And he's being held by his brother. So I get to the front door, and the mother, I said, ma'am, I just need to know his first name. His name is Brandon. He's the guy that you guys have already named in the homicide. And sure enough, his brother's holding Brandon. And he's cut himself. Not very deep, but he's cut himself enough to where he's going to need stitches. We get him into custody, and I get to spend 4 hours with this young man. He brought up God, is mad at me or something. I don't remember exactly what was said or how it was said. And I told him ultimately that God forgives him for whatever he's done. If you want that, we can pray that. He said, I just appreciate if you pray for me. Okay, I'll do that. You want me to do that right now or what? And he's like, yeah, right now. So I'll pray for him. So I saw his brother about a year after this all had transpired, and I remembered the brother, and I said, "Hey, how's Brandon doing?" And he looked at me, and he didn't know who I was. He just knew I was a cop, and he's like, "How do you know my brother?" I'm like, "You remember that night?" And he's like, "Oh yeah." I said, "How's he doing? How's his walk with Christ?" He goes, "Man, you wouldn't believe him." He said, "He's completely changed."